Hi! Okay, so the next leg play technique that we're going to have a look at is Tocks. So these are called Tocks because they kind of mimic the hands on the clock, okay, which is going to be one of the teaching points that we use for this as well. So as we went over in the tie and untie tutorial, I'm going to teach this facing away from you so that you can see my legs the same way that you see your legs, yeah? Because as we mentioned before, a lot of the time when people are doing leg playing classes or in workshops, I hear people going, oh my god, everyone else's looks so great and mine just doesn't even look right, it just looks like I'm flailing about like this, but with legs. And the reason for that is because leg play is usually meant to be viewed from this angle. Hi! And you can't see yourself from that angle, so you just see the behind the scenes version of it. Okay, so your own leg play is always going to look weird to you because you're looking at it from the wrong side. But for teaching it, I'm going to do it so you see my legs like you'll see your own legs. Hopefully that makes sense. So, for Tocks, let me get in the right position. Well, I'll show you them first and then we'll run through them. With Tocks, you're not just using your legs, you're going to be using your obliques as well. Yeah, they're pretty hardcore if you do those, but they're really good for like core strength training too. So, your Tocks that we're going to run through are going to be single Tocks and double Tocks. So, I'll show you single first of all. Great. And double. Hurrah! Okay, so let's get started. Same as with the last leg play tutorial, when you're performing these, you should generally try and do them up on your forearms, like this. Just so that then you can like see the audience between your legs, and also it's just a nicer position overall than just like splatted on your back. But for training them, because they are quite core intensive, feel free to like just sploot on your back and concentrate on what your legs are doing until you're confident with that. So, to begin with, we're going to make our left leg move. So I want my left leg underneath my right leg, yeah? I'm going to imagine that there's a big clock with my knees at the centre point. My feet are at 12 o'clock, my butt is at 6 o'clock, there's 3 o'clock, there's 9 o'clock. So, first of all, lock your legs out straight. Push the backs of your knees away from you and lock the knees and point your toes. Oh, calf cramp. Okay, we don't ever want lazy legs in leg play. It just makes such a massive difference. So really get into the habit of remembering that leg play is, every position is active. There's never like a passive relaxing moment. Oh my God. Okay, so from here, the left leg, which is the one we're going to move, one underneath, is going to point to 3 o'clock, then 6 o'clock, then 9 o'clock. This one is hard, you'll feel it here. And then back up to 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? If we want to do one leg and then the other, we need to make the left leg return so it's on top of the right leg, like this. 1, 2, 3, on top, 4. And now the right leg is underneath, so that can go round this way. 1, 2, 3, 4 on top. So swap legs again. Yeah? So let me show you what that looks like from the audience perspective. Left leg underneath, so that's the leg I'm going to move. Okay? Now that looks fine, but we want to try and make it look like our foot's drawing a circle, and that's really difficult unless you've got like crazy, weird flexibility madness, okay? So the way we're going to do that is with a little bit of an optical illusion, which is a lot of what leg play is about. We're going to turn our hips in the direction that our foot is facing to make it look like we have more range of movement than we really do. So I'll show you the difference this makes first of all, okay? So first, without moving my hips, one leg, other leg, and now using the hips, great. So hopefully you can see how it looks like my foot's drawing more of a circle instead of just kind of going in a little oval, yeah? And it looks like a more pronounced shape. The way we want to move our hips is we want to be pulling our hip up towards our rib cage. So if I was sat like this, or laid like this rather, I'd be pulling my hip up to my rib, contracting this muscle here, shortening it, yeah? If we use the infamous butthole laser teaching point, then essentially you want to imagine if you have like a laser pen stuck up your butthole, then freaking power to you, you're the kind of person I want in my life. But also imagine that that laser wants to be moving and pointing to wherever the sole of your foot is pointing. So let me explain again, facing so that you can see my legs like they're your legs. So with the hip movement, we no longer need the ankles to be crossed. Doesn't matter why, don't question it, just don't. So have the legs together. This time you're going to start by moving your hips. So I'm pulling my hip up towards my ribcage, contracting that muscle on the side, and my little butthole laser is trying its hardest to point over there, okay? My left foot, because I decided that was the one that's going to move, and because that's the way my butthole is facing, is going to go here. When my foot comes down 6 o'clock, my hips return to neutral. As I go back out to 9 o'clock, my hips turn this way, so butthole laser pointing in that direction. Again, trying to follow the sole of the shoe as much as I can. And when I come back up, back to neutral. Okay? So, hips, foot, hips to neutral, hips out, hips to neutral. Let's do that together again, okay? Hips to the side, foot to the side, foot down, hips neutral, foot to the side, hips to the side, and neutral, okay? If you want to do multiple ones, like this, you no longer need to cross your legs because by turning your hips, you're putting your feet sideways on anyway. So, turn, foot, and then get ready to turn, foot carries straight on, yeah? So, those are all well and good, but what about double ones? They're kind of a bit of a head fuck, but once you've done them a few times, your muscle memory helps an awful lot. So I'll show you doubles again, double tick-tock. And you can do these with your legs as far apart or as close together as you like. Close together, far apart. Let's try it. Legs up, turn your butthole first, whoop. Left leg comes down, and then when you have the space that you want between your feet, you're going to imagine that they are now locked apart with ankle bar restrainers for the kinksters amongst you. If you don't know what one is, look it up for fun. Slowly move the legs down, keeping that distance between them as if your ankles are locked that far apart. Once the bottom foot gets to the bottom, that's when you start going to neutral. Feet either side, see, still the same distance apart. Twist the hips, coming up. And back to the top. do them further apart or closer together, exactly the same. Close together, just stagger the feet slightly and then keep them that distance as you go around. Further apart, just let this foot travel further before the other one joins it. Okay? The fun thing about TikToks is that you can play with direction with them, and they're really nice for kind of lulling the audience into a false sense of security and then switching what you're doing. So if you're going round and round one way with one leg and then you switch it up, it's really useful for if there's a tempo change in the music, a drop, or just you want to make sure they're still paying attention. Yeah, with leg play, I like to do repetitive patterns once or twice so people think that they know what the pattern is, and then change it slightly. Okay, so you can do, going back up, round, round, yeah. You can do multiple, round and round and round. Whoop. And of course, you can swap legs, switch up doubles, singles, whatever you want. Single, 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 reverse, single, double, double leg, reverse. Yay, okay. Have fun with it and work on doing them really, really slowly and really thinking about engaging that muscle to turn your hips, yeah? It just makes such a huge difference to how it looks. If you choose to record yourself doing them, which I massively recommend that you do, it's really hard to watch yourself in a mirror when your legs are literally right in the fucking way. Yeah, try recording yourself and watching what you're doing. You should really feel it in your obliques. And when your foot is pointing out to the side, you're gonna feel it there as well, okay? That's just about it. So that is your TikTok single and doubles. Yay.